We're going to be trying out the Ribombee today. Ribombee is usually a sticky webber when you use it in OU or any other tier. But you can also run an offensive Ribombee set, which is what we're going to be using today. Ribombee got stored power plus Quiver Dance, which is pretty scary on paper. But in practice, it's really hard for Ribombee to set up. Not like Volcarona, where it has some bulk and some actual threatening moves. Ribombee is really frail, and the only really good thing it has going for it is speed stat, so it can be very difficult to get set up. That being said, it's okay into this team. They do have the dog, which if it doesn't have heavy slam, Ribombee can set up on, and it can also outspeed and kill a Palmot. So it has some utility here, but we'll just have to see. Also, interestingly, stored power doesn't care about unaware as much, so if I could get 2 or 3 boosts before I get killed by Toxic, I could set up on Clodsire. Alright, I think in this game I'm going to lead off with the Ursaluna, because my opponent really doesn't have too much for it, except for the Slowbro. But if I just go for the Blood Moon turn 1, then we'll see what's up on my opponent's side, if they're more especially defensive or whatnot. Because Slowbro is more of a physically tanky Pokemon, and so it probably can live 1 Blood Moon, but that's going to be about it. In fact, if we look, Slowbro, OU defensive, yeah, that's a good chunk. And so of course they can do a lot of damage back to me, but I think that just leading off with something powerful that I can start breaking through some of their mons is better. I was testing this team with a bunch of different Pokemon, and you really need to have some offensive presence to take initiative into your own hands. Otherwise, your opponent can just come in, set up on you, do whatever they want in the beginning of the game, and it's really bad for you. We've got Chesnaught on this team as well. Chesnaught is really interesting right now, I think, because Ogerpon Water is still around and it's running amok. Really annoying, which is why we also have one on our team. I originally had the Rock Ogerpon, but it just isn't as good as the water one, even though it is still quite good. And so this Chesnaught can sort of block both dual stab from Ogerpon, of the ones that are remaining, and it only really has to worry about Play Rough, which we can Terra and live most likely because we are very bulky. Okay, so we do the amount that we expected to, but they didn't do too much to us. I'm just going to Earth Power here. They can always go into Dragonite if they really want to, but we just want to force out the Slowbro. We'll go Corviknight here, and now I can U-turn out. Dragonite doesn't want to stay in because it'll break Multiscale, and now I can go back into Ursaluna, and now they have to decide who's going to die. We haven't broken Multiscale on Dragonite because they switched out, which I think was wise. But Clodsire doesn't want to come in. Their own Blood Moon doesn't really want to come in. Zamazenta doesn't want to come in, especially this early in the game. You can go Clodsire. Here I'm going to go into Corviknight, and then I'm going to Brave Bird. They can't really touch me, and all they can do is lay up hazards, which they may end up doing. But we'll see what they decide to do as a play. So at the end of the day, if their Slowbro gets back Regenerator, then that'll mean that I'll have lost out on this exchange because I'll be down HP. But I think this is alright. I'm actually going to go into Ribombee. They actually have Thunder Wave. Okay. Is that on standard Slowbro? I guess it depends on what you think is standard. If I Quiver Dance a couple times though, then this means that they can't well, I'll be back to my normal speed is what I was trying to say. Okay, Clodsire. Okay, Ribombee here. Clodsire. Sure. Unaware. And then plus 2 doll stats. We can see that the stored power starts going up in power. I'm just going to launch off a couple stored powers. Now that my opponent knows that that's doing some damage, they may be wanting to switch out. In fact, they might go into their Dragonite. I'm not sure what their game plan is. But they also might say, oh, that isn't doing that much. Because it only did 39. But now it's going to do more. Because I got another boost under my belt. So it should be a 2-shot now at this range. And it is. So we'll just go for it again. You can see that does so much. And actually, because they paralyzed me, they can't get the toxic on me, which has allowed me to sort of sit on this Clodsire. And the only thing I was really worried about was them having a poison jab or something. But it looks like my opponent doesn't have that. Okay. Getting one parry isn't too bad. Here I'm going to just Draining Kiss. We'll get some health back. As we actually get a lot of health back, all things considering. And they go into Zamazenta, which I do outspeed. I'm going to Draining Kiss again here. We actually failed to pick up the KO, and they play rough. Interesting. I wonder if that was a roll or something. I could have gone for Moonblast, but I thought that I would kill. I am plus 3 Ribombee. So now they know they can't go Clodsire, they will die. Ursaluna is going, I'm going to 4 times resist the fighting move. And likewise with Chesnaught, I'm going to resist their Mock Punch. I'm actually back up to full now. Nice, Ribombee. What a great way to start the video off. Okay, now we're fighting a team with another Clodsire. I don't know if I'll be able to get the same kind of sweep I did in the last game. Because it's always scary facing off against a guy with poison jab, potentially. But, we'll see. I could lead off with the Ogerpon if they want to lead off with Gliscor. And I think I sort of just want to do that. As I will go for the Ivy Cudgel turn 1. There's a lot of the times they just go for the Protect, which I think makes a lot of sense. And here I will go for the Ivy Cudgel again. Now that we know that they're Water Absorb, that actually makes my job a lot easier. Because first of all, that means I can Swords Dance up with this and Power Whip. And second of all, it means I can go for Quiver Dance and actually get the boosts for my Ribombee. Okay. Here I'm going to Brave Bird first turn. Just to see what they're made of. They actually go Greninja, which I'm okay with because I'm a more spit off Corviknight on this set. So I'll eat that, and now they don't have a Greninja. Not the biggest threat, considering I have Ogerpon, Ribombee, and Chesnaught to a lesser extent. But still, I'll take a Mongon. A Mongon is a Mongon. Or whatever. I want to go back into the Ogerpon here. I mean, part of me wants to say, well, I've shown that I can go into Corviknight on the Clodsire, so I'm going to click the SD. But I don't know if that's the best play. Okay, Unaware. Water Absorb. A +2. We 100% blow that away. That is so much damage. Okay. Just gonna go Rotom here. There's no reason to make weird plays like that. And here I feel like what they're gonna do is they are going to U-turn into Clodsire. But I don't really have anything for that other than Overheat. It's actually just hard switching to Clodsire. I suppose that works too. I go Corviknight here. Don't want to let anything get toxic. So I will Roost first. And I'll Roost again. Alright, go back into Rotom. They go for Will-O-Wisp again. Okay. We're just gonna do this little song and dance for a bit. I don't know what it really gets them. I knew they had a U-turn. I don't know why they were going for it. I guess they just wanted to scout to see if I was choice scarfed. Okay. Rode him again. And then, the Corviknight, I guess. I don't know. Now I can Brave Bird. Yeah, that was a really weird exchange. I don't know if my opponent was just stuck in a loop and didn't know what to do, what the best play was, but now I can continue to click Brave Bird, and I force the Clodsire to go for Recover. Or they could just go Gliscor, which is what they should have done did. Now I get to go Ogerpon, and I get to click the Power Whip. They were actually willing to let me go for a Swords Dance there. So I'm really surprised about. I don't think that protecting against Ogerpon is ever the play with Gliscor. Too risky, in my opinion. Every time you give Ogerpon a free turn, you're really setting yourself up for failure. Okay, once again, not letting that get toxic. Really bad idea. I'll just go Rotom here. Not doing anything in this game. I'll Volt Switch again. Because all they're doing is giving my Rotom leftovers when they make this play. And I'm also slowly but surely taking all of their Pyro Balls if they decide to keep going for it. I'm not too fussed about that. So they did 9% to my Rotom. My Rotom will get that back in leftovers. So it's not unless they go for Pyro Ball that they're making any progress, but as they do that, they're losing Pyro Balls. So we'll see. I think you could go into Gliscor from my opponent. I don't really think it gets you anything, but I think it might be a better play. And here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to Volt Switch. Break the Multi-Scale. Actually go back into Cinderace. Which actually, I think I'm going to go into the Ursaluna on this. And just click the Blood Moon. I'm a bulky boy. And the Cinderace has only really got Pyro Ball. So I'm not too concerned about that. As we can just click Blood Moon there. And I'll go Corviknight here. Broken Multi-Scale. We have to see what kind of Dragonite this is. It's an Encore Dragonite or what. Here we're just going to Brave Bird again. They go for that. That's okay. We will defog. We definitely wanted the rocks off the field. You may have noticed that my Rotom was getting leftovers recovery back. That means that I don't have heavy duty boots on the Rotom. And I think it's really important for Rotom Heat to have leftovers. I think some people might disagree. Obviously, it makes a lot more sense for a fire type to have heavy duty boots. But I don't like the fact that Rotom doesn't have recovery in this game. So, I can actually make a bit of a risky play here and go Corviknight. They should U-turn here. That'll just let me potentially get a recover off on the Clodsire or on the Gliscor. That works too. They just go for knockoff. That's okay. And this will give me a slow U-turn into whatever I want. This Gliscor is not a threat. At least I don't think it is. Yes, and we pop the Golden Ghost balloon, which is amazing. So now, quickly, calc, Golden Go, Air Balloon, Ivy Cudgel, just Okos. Oh, that's a +2. Okay, don't get ahead of yourselves. That is a lot. 62%, so it's not quite in range yet. How much does that do to Ursaluna? 68%. Okay. Let's just do this. think this is an okay play. And we'll Earth Power. They may stay in to just try to get some chip. And by chip, I mean this is going to do a good chunk, but I got rid of the Golden Go. And the Golden Go, we wanted to get rid of because that was standing in the way of my Ribombee. So I think that was pretty important. Now, of course, the Cinderace is a lot more freed up and they can actually kill me. But that's fine by me. We're down to 3 Power Balls. So once the Power Balls are gone, the Ursaluna just comes in for free. Like it's not doing anything at that point. Okay. I'm going to Volt Switch here. Just because I want to make sure that they don't Power Ball into my Corviknight because I need my Corviknight to win. And every time they U-turn out on me, then I will get that health back with leftovers. So it's not that big of a deal. Don't know what they want to do this turn. Mid double out as they double into Dragonite, which is an interesting play. Fire Punch does a good chunk. But on that, I can If I Terra Water with Chesnaught, how much? I mean, they have Gliscor still. It's not really that great of a play. So, probably better to go Ogerpon. Just click the knock off. Okay, they're almost certainly choice banned, right? Okay, yeah. Cinderace loses their boots. If I'd gone for Cudgel there, the Cinderace would have been dead. So, maybe I sort of regret that sequence. I think the Cinderace is in range of Vacuum Wave, though. So, I want to save the Corviknight for sure. Rotom basically has done its job. Okay, and they can't kill me this turn. So, once again, we Volt Switch. Because that just gave me more leftovers turns, is all that did. And, let's see. Knock off. Oops. Corviknight takes 11% from knockoff. So I think that's a 2-shot from the range we're at. Alright. Interesting. Interesting double. Once again, I'm not throwing this away for nothing. We can just Volt Switch again. Once again, I get more recovery. Now I'm back up to half health. I'm going to go back into Ogerpon. I don't care if I get Toxic at this point. That did not matter at all. And I'm just going to Ivy Cudgel here. You can go Clodsire, because Clodsire just lets me get in my Corviknight. And if they decide not to make a turn, play this turn, then that's just 3 health for me. And I'm going to go into my Chesnaught. We go for Fire Punch, which is okay. I think I will Terra Water this. And go for a Spike. Oh, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But at this point, they have to decide, do they want a Court Change? Do they want a Will-O-Wisp? They can't kill me. And if they predict my Rotom to come back in, they may just go for Court Change. So they do make the Gliscor play. I think that makes a lot of sense. We'll just go Corviknight here. And I can get a slow U-turn out into my Ogerpon. Alright. So the Ribombee didn't get to come out that game, but I think we had pretty good control of the field. And, I mean, we were on our way to a 6-0 if I played my cards right. So, fortunately, my opponent, I mean, they made some crazy plays, and which is why they sacked their Greninja and lost the balloon on Golden Go. But I think we just had a lot of answers for what my opponent had. Now this is an interesting team. We're facing Sun, which I don't like our matchup against that. I'm going to lead off with Ursaluna. Lead off with Hatterene. I think is okay. So I think I can actually maybe Calm Mind up. They do go for Trick Room. I'm going to Calm Mind up again. And now I will Blood Moon. I'm gonna try to waste as many Trick Room turns as possible. Actually go for Terra Blast fighting. I was not predicting that. Okay, and they have their own Vacuum Wave. That's okay. So now let's go. Yeah, that was a really weird play. Ogerpon, though, I think gives us some pretty good field control. Because they can sack this if they want to, but they can't really go Torkoal on this. They could sack the Hatterene, I think maybe is the correct play to do. But they sack the Ursaluna, which I will definitely take. Let's go Rotom here. Rotom always beats down the Torkoal. They go for Solar Beam. So they were trying to make a play there. They sacked their Hatterene. So they've lost 2 Mons. Specifically, they lost their Trick Room side of things. And they've lost their Terra, which is pretty good, I think. I lost my Ursaluna, which I'm not too happy about. But I think it was worth it to get rid of those guys. But Walking Wake is a problem for this team for sure. I can sack something, go Ogerpon. I just have to decide what I want to sack. I almost feel like the Chesnaught might be the correct play. Because I need the Corviknight, I think, maybe for Dragonite. But, I don't know. I'm gonna go sack the Corviknight. They go for Flamethrower. That doesn't even kill. Because I am Spadef. Okay. Here I am going to Terra and then Power Whip. That'll give me the Spadef boost. And so they'll go for Flamethrower still. And that doesn't do anything. I'm actually going to Swords Dance here. They'll go back into Torkoal, as I figured they would. But now this blows away their Torkoal, and they are running a borrowed time when it comes to that. Okay, here I'm going to switch out because I need to keep this around for the Walking Wake. And here we'll go Chesnaught. As I'm going to Iron Defense up in their face. Before I had good success with this 1v1 interaction, but they did have the what am I trying to say? Oh, they Terra Steeled when that happened. Okay, so let's say this is Choice Specs. I think I want to go Rotom here. Because if they go for Draco Meteor, I want to know it. I'm just going to Volt Switch out. And what this is going to do is it's going to let me get my Ribombee in. And if I can get a Quiver Dance up with the Ribombee, then that'll get me faster than this, which I already am. I'll get faster than the Zamazenta. Yep. And once I have a Quiver Dance up, it's pretty bad news for them. Let's just Moonblast once. Oh, I want to see how much this does. Okay, does a lot. And now I can just throw off a Body Press. I don't think they stay in. And so... Zamazenta maybe? No, Dragonite, they stayed in. I'm gonna Synthesis here. Now I can go Ogerpon. Going for Draco Meteor last time. They go for Flamethrower this time, and that really does not work out for them. So at this point, I am just going to Ivy Cudgel. That does the most to Zamazenta, and as you can see, that does a lot of damage. Chesnaught again. No point throwing this all away. Let's just Body Press Raw here. We go for Iron Defense, and I can do the same. Synthesis up. Gotta stay healthy. And as we'll need to go for our final Iron Defenses, I will Synthesis again just to stay healthy, and now we go for our own. And it's crazy that I'm doing more damage as a Chesnaught to the Zamazenta. I don't know how that works. Like, the Shield Dog is getting beaten by the Shield Gopher. But this Chesnaught is actually really good. Like, I'm not lying when I say Chesnaught is superb right now. We're keeping it around for the Dragonite. We go Ogerpon always here. Because even if they kill the Ogerpon somehow, which they may with like Dracometer or whatever, right? That was a crit, unfortunately. Apparently they are very slow. Oh no, actually no, that's just normal speed. I forgot. There's Ivy Cudgel. They can extreme speed if they want to. But then Body Press. We saw that at 26 before. So I'm pretty sure the choice banded. And so this will finish him off. Even with a crit, that didn't kill me. So yeah, that's going to be the video for today. I got a Ribombee sweep in game 1, and even in this game, the Moonblast wasn't too bad. I think that if you play your cards right, this team will work decently. I think Ribombee's definitely outclassed as a fairy attacker. You have Iron Valiant, you have any number of Terra fairies in this tier. And Enamorous also comes to mind. But having Quiver Dance is never bad. And having that stored power lets you sweep past Clodsire, which is super fun. It does also help you beat, to some extent, the Iron Moth, but you definitely have to watch out for things like if Aurora Veil is up, and I think you might even need +2 just to actually OHKO with stored power. But that's going to be the video for today. I'll catch you guys next time.